I said, I'm going live every day from this channel too. So pretty soon I'm gonna be going live from all of my channels. Because all it takes is basically an hour, 30 minutes to an hour for me to go live. So that's not really a lot. And if I got 5 channels that I'm primarily using, I mean, I definitely can do that. But you read the title right, choices, choices, choices. This live, this discussion, this is for anybody, everybody who just likes good conversation. I'm not gonna tell you to like, share, subscribe. If you want to do that, you definitely can. If not, it's cool. But we're talking about an important subject today: choices, choices. All right, and I'm going to be saying that throughout the whole entire live. Choices, choices. The choices and the decisions that you make today will affect you for the rest of your life. Choices. And I didn't know how important making choices actually were until I started getting older. But now I realize how important choices are and how it completely coincides with time. It coincides with time. It coincides with life. It coincides with the way, the way your day might go and the way your life might end up because of choices, right? Now, I can honestly say I've made a lot of bad choices in my life, but I've also made some good choices as well. And we're gonna talk about a combination of both of those choices and how to make the correct choices. I ain't gonna say how to make the correct choices because what might be correct for me might not be correct for you. But I will say this, I will word it this way: how to make logical choices, right? That means choices that actually make sense, choices that's going to help you instead of deter you in life. When I say deter, that means basically take you away from, basically getting you off focus. Okay? So, yeah. So, choices. So, let's talk about today. So, today I already had a plan. I had a plan to take my son to see the movies, okay? Seeing the ABCs. No, we're not doing that right now. So today I went to take my son to the movies. He wanted to see the ELO movie. So I already knew that, my day was going to be a little bit different today. So I definitely got to take him to the movies, and he enjoyed the movies, but I didn't get to finish doing all of my exercise like I wanted to because I have everything. Basically, I'm on a strict schedule, you know. Because when it's nighttime, the night goes by so quick. So I like to get all of my stuff done earlier. And the reason why is because if I get it done earlier, I have more time at night to do the things that I need to do. So before I took them to the movies and everything, I was working on some beats. I was working on some instrumentals, right? And of course, I finished those instrumentals. I definitely finished those instrumentals. I finished the beats that I was trying to make. And I ended up wanting to make 2 more. So I'm almost finished with everything. But I made the choice to work on those beats for, I guess, about almost 2 hours. And in those 2 hours, I could have been exercising. I definitely could have been exercising. But I chose not to. Okay? Me making that choice, right? Me making that choice puts me in the position where now, after I finish cooking dinner, right, I'm gonna have to do my exercise. All right, I'm gonna have to do my exercises, and I'm also gonna have to finish the rest of everything else that I have scheduled, which is practicing my keyboard, for 30 minutes to an hour uploading content, right? These are choices that I've made, and I'm going to stay with making these choices until I die. And I'm not just saying the choices that I did today. There's different choices, but the choices that I did make today has definitely affected and is affecting my night right now. Because if I would have did my exercise right, I could have still did the beats, but I didn't have to be on the beats for so long. I really wouldn't be in a rush in doing things. I wouldn't be. But since I made that choice, now my time is limited for the rest of the night. I'm not going to be able to do everything that I have planned, and I might be able to, but I'm going to be rushed. It's already past 9 o'clock. I still have to cook. All right, I have to cook. Now, if it was just me, I wouldn't be worrying about cooking right now. But I made the choice 10 years ago, right, to have unprotected sex with my BM, and now I have a child. All right, I have a child, I have a son, so I have to make sure that I take care of my responsibilities. Okay, and I have to feed him every day. I do. If I don't, consequences will occur, and child protective services will take over, and that's a no-no. We don't do that. Okay, but choices, guys, choices. All right. Now nobody can tell you what to do. I'm just giving you sound, logical advice. Like, think before you do things. Okay? Think before you do things. Now I'm glad I did have a day. I definitely had a day today, and it's basically coming to an end. You know, we have less than 3 hours until the new day comes, but that's still enough time for me to get my things done that needs to be done. Okay? And I have to get them done. So when I'm talking to my fellas right now, you know, there's going to be a lot of distractions. And you could say I'm talking to my females too, but I'm really talking to my fellas right now because I am one. There's going to be a lot of distractions out there, guys, and you have to learn how to stay tunnel vision. Tunnel vision, okay? Especially if you really want something in the long run, right? If you want something in the long run, you have to. Your life depends on making logical choices, all right? What's up, everybody? Oh, what's up, basketball? What's up, King? Landon, Miguel. What's up, everybody? But your life depends on making logical choices, because really making those logical choices is going to be the dictator how smooth your life going to go. Now, nothing's going to be smooth sailing all the time. You're going to always run into obstacles, and you have to make the right choices when it comes to that, because you want to know how to get out of those obstacles, right? But guys, those choices are going to affect you. So guess what? Tomorrow, I'm already thinking about tomorrow. Tomorrow I have to go to Rayford. That's about 25 minutes, 30 minutes away from here. I got to go to my parents' house. I got to cut the grass. I got to cut the the front yard and the backyard. All right? So I don't want to wait, and I don't want to waste time. So the best thing that I'm going to do, and I'm thinking about this now, right? Because I could do my exercise tomorrow at my parents' house, but I know after I finish cutting the grass, I'm going to be a little fatigued. I'm going to be a little fatigued. I already know that. I'll be a little tired. My son, he has karate practice tomorrow. He didn't go today. He's going to have karate practice tomorrow. So all of that's going in my head right now. What choice to make? So I need to make sure that I get up in the morning, right? Head over to Rayford, go ahead and cut the front lawn, right? I have to let the lawnmower battery charge for a little bit, and then let that charge for about 30 minutes, maybe to an hour. Cut the back, okay? Literally, guys, utilize all of your 24 hours. I made a live, maybe I think it was last week, talking about that. You cannot waste time. You cannot waste time out here, guys. You gotta utilize all of your time. All right? You gotta utilize all of your time. Not waste time. So when the so my whole goal is now, whenever the battery is charging tomorrow from me cutting the front, I'm going to go ahead and go on live and do a live session as far as talking about, you know, this life period. I'm not going to waste any time. That's what I'm thinking about now. So I already looked at time. I'm like, wow, it's already late now. It's late now. I haven't been live all day. So instead of me just not using this time like I could, I'm about to go live. So that's why I'm live now. I'm making the choice to do that now. Because after I finish cooking for my son and everything, I can be in the living room. I can go ahead and do my workout. All right? And I do 2 workouts a day. Now, one thing I did make a good decision earlier today, right? And I started my other workout earlier while I was making my beats. So all I have is 3 reps left with my other workout. I do 2 workouts every day. Okay? 2 workouts every day. And it's, right, every day I do these workouts. They test me every day. Every day I'm tested. Every day I'm tested with these workouts. Okay? Every day. It's not a day that I'm not tested with these workouts. So another thing too, right? Speaking of choices. So today after I finish taking my son from the movies, we come back home and guess what happened? My air conditioning unit stopped working. Alright? I noticed that immediately. Instead of procrastinating, I could have procrastinated. Instead of procrastinating, what I did? I called the tenant. Well, I'm the tenant. I called my property manager, right? I called my property manager and I let him know ASAP, look, my unit just went out. I just finished taking my son to the movies. Could you send somebody out here and check out the air conditioning unit? Now, I already knew what was going on because the same thing happened last year around this time, right? What happened last year, my the capacitor to the air conditioner went out. So I already knew, like, it was the same, basically it was the same symptoms. Like, would it be the symptoms? The symptoms is like whenever you sick. But I guess it could be the same symptoms. I don't think that's the right word. I don't think that's the right word. But the same problems were occurring with the air conditioning unit last year, and I remember. And I had one of my clients, he works HVAC, he came to my house. I paid him $100. I was like, can you just, check to see what's wrong with my air conditioning unit? So he broke it down and he knew what it was ASAP. And he was like, bro, that's easy fix. It's the capacitor. Your capacitor went out. He said, I have a capacitor in the car. It might not fit, but it'll work until tomorrow. But it was the 4th of July and nobody was working at that time. Nobody was working, He was like, I can put this on here, but you definitely going to need to get another capacitor because this is not the right voltage. It's probably going to burn out. So make sure that you call and let them know. I was like, all right, say less. So that's what I did. So when I came home today from taking my son to the movies, I noticed that the air was still blowing, but there was no cool air blowing. It was only hot air. So I did not procrastinate. I called them ASAP and they came up, and just like I predicted, just like I said, it was the capacitor. Right? Now I could have made the choice in my life. I'm just gonna wait, but that would have led in more. I ain't gonna lie, like I would have felt like I would have been wasting way more time. And the reason why is because, let's be honest, it's not just me. I'm not just living for me, right? It's not just me. Got my son, so it's more than just me, right? It's more than me. And now, since it's more than me, I have to take myself out of the equation a lot of the time. I do. I have to take myself out of the equation a lot of times, and I think about him. And that's how I move. Now, you might be on this live and you might not have any kids, right? You might not have any children, but that doesn't mean that you still don't make the right choices. You still want to make the right choices, okay? You want to make the right choices, all right? Now, if I was 20 again, even if I was a teenager again, the things that I would change differently would be I will always make sure that whoever my so-called friends, my company, I will watch who I will be hanging around. I wouldn't hang around anybody that's not goal oriented. I don't have any goals, so I wouldn't hang around people like that, right? I'm hanging around people that truly shares the same morals, ethics, standards, and values that I hold. Why you say that? Well, I say that because whenever you're around a person with like-minded tendencies, y'all energy tends to bounce off one another. Okay? Whether it be 2, 3, 4, it doesn't matter. And the more of y'all, the better. Why? Because now you have a whole different energy field. And you're definitely bouncing that energy off of each other. Okay? That's one thing I would do. I would choose to have great individuals in my circle. Not just cool looking individuals, not just people that seem cool. No, people that's going to help me out and are going to motivate me and encourage me instead of pick at me and make fun of me. I don't want to be around people like that. I do not want to be around people like that. And honestly, guys, you shouldn't want to be around people like that either. Okay? You want to be around people that's going to help motivate you. All right. And I'm just being honest with you guys. Life is not easy at all. Life is not easy at all. And to be honest with you, life is full of making choices. And making the correct choices. You want to make choices that want to be beneficial to you in the future. All right? Just because something looks cool right now don't mean it's going to be that way 20, 30 years from now. Okay? Just being honest with you. Just because it looks cool right now don't mean it's going to be cool 20, 30 years from now. And I say that too. And I say it proudly because honestly, sometimes I really wish I would have never got these tattoos on my body. You know? Like, seriously. Because all I was doing was following the trend. Just following the trend. But that goes back to choices. I made the choice to do that. Right? I made the choice to do that. Another thing too, whenever you're making the right choices, like keep your word. If you tell somebody you're gonna do something, do it. All right? Do it. All right? Don't tell somebody you're gonna do something and then you renege on what you said you was gonna do. No. Keep your word and do exactly what you told them that you was gonna do. All right? Keep your word. Especially being a man, you gotta keep your word. Being a woman too, you want to keep your word too. But like I say, I always say this: these are lives that's going to be on the internet forever, and my children, my great grandchildren. And I'm just talking about like in the future because I only have one son, but I do want to have more children. Right? I definitely want to have more children. they have something to look to. All right? They got something to look to. They need advice. They can go online. Let me see what Pop-Up was talking about 20, 30 years ago. All right? Life is hard. You're going to have to work hard every day. And to be honest with you, every day it's going to get harder and harder. It's going to get tougher. I told my son that yesterday. I gave him a 25, 30-minute lecture. Let him know it's going to be hard every day. Every day you wake up, it's going to get tougher and tougher. I remember when he was 4, he was 5. I can't wait till I get 10. I can't wait till I get older. Okay, yeah, that's cool. It's just going to get tougher, though. It's only going to get tougher. It's going to get tougher every day. Like, it's no easy way around it. There's no easy way around it. I tell people this all the time. Every day I wake up, it's more stuff that I have to do. There's more stuff that I have to do. And like sometimes I feel like I don't even have enough time. But guys, you definitely have more than enough time. But you gotta make the right choices and utilize your time wisely. If you utilize your time wisely, right? That means really utilizing all those 24 hours that you have. You definitely have enough time to get the stuff done that you need to get done. You do. You just gotta do it though. You gotta do it. That's the tough part. Okay? A lot of us don't use our 24 hours like we should or like we could. Alright? If you really utilize your time wisely, man, you have more than enough time to get stuff done that you need to. You do. But a lot of us get distracted. Like I said, I fall in that category too sometimes until I stop myself. Because it's very easy to get distracted these days. But even with that, that's a choice that you're making. You don't have to. You don't have to get distracted. A lot of us, we make those choices. You wanted to go to that place. You went to that place and you was going to get distracted going to that place. Well, you didn't have to go there. You didn't have to. You didn't have to do that. That's why I say, like, when you make logical decisions and choices, you definitely get rewarded more at the end. When you make poor decisions and poor choices, those consequences are extremely terrible. Extremely terrible, guys. Now, I started this channel all for podcasting. I post podcasts throughout the week too, so I'm probably post another one tonight because I already got one ready to go. And it's going to be a series with this podcast that I post tonight, later on tonight, earlier this morning. But everything we do falls back to choices. It falls back to choices, guys. It falls back to choices. If you really like doing stuff, if you really like a certain way of life, if you like a particular lifestyle, you want to partake in a particular lifestyle and different things, it's going to be about the choices you make. Now, I'm going to say something that some people might agree with and some people might not agree with. Right? Just because you have children or you don't have children, just because you have children don't mean that the choices that you made are over with in life, okay? Just because you don't have any children doesn't mean that you can just do whatever you want to. It doesn't mean life is still going to be easy for you just because you don't have any children. Now, one thing I will say right? Yeah, you might not have as many responsibilities as far as another body, but things are still going to come your way. Why? Because when a person knows that they don't have any children, they put themselves in a position. Most people, and I can't say everybody, because I know some people who don't have any children and they still make good choices where they're not over stimulated with responsibilities. They're not overwhelmed with extracurricular activities. So they made great choices. But there's always going to be something that you got to do. All right? There's always going to be something that you have to do. One thing I will say, and it's no easy way around that. There's no easy way around it. I tell people this all the time. There's no easy way around. I wish I had a rule book. I wish I had something where I could like a secret or something where I could tell you, hey, you do this, you'll be all good. It's no secret. You gotta live life. That's what it is. You gotta go through it. You gotta go through the struggle. Every millionaire, billionaire, even if a person that was born with money has went through some type of struggle. You gotta go through it, guys. I mean, there's no easy way around it. There's no easy way around it. Now, one thing I could have done today, though, right? And this goes back to making choices. I could have already had this done. I could have had this done. Now, I wasn't going to do the cooking because my air conditioning unit was out. So it was already like 86, 87 degrees. It was almost 90 degrees in here. So I wasn't going to turn the stove on or the oven on. But after they left and they fixed my unit, about an hour in, I still could have fixed and prepped food for the night, right? Instead of doing it now. But I chose to continue to make beats, okay? And after that, I chose to take a little nap, okay? So now, because I made the decision, I made a choice, right, to use my time in another space. Now I have to use this space and this time to cook, all right? I have to do that. I have no other choice. There's no other choices. I have to do this. This is a must. When I do this, that's why I tell you, man, like the choices you make will affect you now for the rest of your life, forever. It just is. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to make choices. Don't be afraid to live life. Like the ups and downs, the good times, the bad times, it all teaches lessons. That's it. It just teaches life lessons. And with those life lessons, you get to share. If you choose to, you get to share with other people. Like I'm sharing with you now. You know, you get to share with other folks. Like I say, man, I don't have too much more to say. Just think about the choices that you make. Right? Think about the choices that you make. Don't be afraid. Don't ever be afraid to make choices. So that's what life is. Life is nothing but choices. Nothing but choices, guys. And the more comfortable you are in making those choices, you know, I ain't gonna say the more comfortable your life will be, because that'll be a lie. But the more comfortable you are making choices, I feel the better you'll be able to maneuver through life. You know, you'll be able to maneuver better through life. be so, I ain't gonna lie. Well, what's the word I'm looking for? I used to be so like, I ain't gonna say down on myself. I don't want to say that word. But I used to be a little bit harsh on myself because, and every now and then I still get to those moments in life, man, I should have made better choices. But the choices I made, right, can teach somebody else, hopefully not to make the same one that I did. You know? You don't have to just learn from your experiences. You can learn from other people's experiences too. Other people's experiences, uh, strangers, movies. You can learn from a lot of different experiences. You can learn from a lot of different experiences. The thing is, there's lessons in everything that you do. There's lessons in everything that you do. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get off because I'm literally almost finished with everything. So I cut a lot of different clients, and everybody has different professions. But one thing I can honestly say, no matter what profession that you might be in, everybody has their everybody has their problems. Everybody has certain issues that they're going through, right? Just because a person might look like they're doing good from the outside, you never know what a person is feeling on the inside. You know, me being a barber, me being in this field that I'm in, I talk to a lot of people, and I know a lot of information. People trust me with a lot of information, guys. Information that, I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't even share with y'all. Even right now, I can't even share. It's so much information that I get from people I can't even share with y'all. You know, you just never know what a person is going through. And even, the older you get, the younger you are, it doesn't matter. Once you're able to realize what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, it's up to you to make those logical choices. It's up to you to make those logical choices, baby. A lot of us just don't choose not to make those logical choices. You know? But I am learning. I'm learning. You're never too young, you're never too old to learn. Once you know how to talk and to understand the value of information, it's up to you. What are you going what are you going to do with it? What you going to do with that information? What you going to do with that info? You going to let it sit or you going to use it? You know? I used to always, when I was younger, try to be stuff that I saw on TV or saw on the internet. You know, I tried my hardest to imitate everything that I saw. Like now it's like I'm maturing. I'm just being myself. You know, of course I do get inspired. I get influenced by different things, but now like I'm more influenced and inspired to do the right things and to get influenced by the right things. It's just hard, guys. It's going to be tough. And nobody's going to be over your shoulder and say, hey, bro, you got to do this. Hey, bro, you got to do this. No, it's going to be your personal decision. Once you're older, it's going to be your personal decision. And I'm a full believer. I don't think that our brains fully develop. And I feel like that just happens over time. But Yeah. Choices, guys. Choices. What choices are you willing to make? What choices are you willing to make? Oh, that's what life is. Choices. You know? Sometimes we make great choices. Sometimes we make not so great choices. Sometimes we make good choices. Sometimes we make bad choices, right? I don't like saying bad choices, but sometimes we just make choices that's not beneficial. You know, it's not going to help us out in the long run. That's what I'm here to tell y'all. It's okay. Those choices is going to teach you. It's going to teach you. You know, use those choices even whenever you get in trouble, right? You might be in the worst trouble, or you might have done something that you know that's not beneficial. You might be doing something right now that's not beneficial. It's okay. Just don't keep making the same choices and the same mistakes over and over again, right? Because once you start doing stuff over and over again, now, like, that's on you. That's on you. It ain't on nobody else. That's on you. You making that decision to keep fucking up, right? And I'm sorry to be so harsh, but you're making that decision. You don't got to do that. You don't got to do that. That's it. I tell my son this all the time too, and the only reason why is because my parents used to tell me this all the time. In class, everybody in class is not disobeying the rules. There are some people in class, and it might be a few, that's actually listening and following directions. They're making the choice to follow directions, right? And it's just like that whenever you get older. Everybody's not going to make effed up decisions. There are some people that's going to make logical decisions. Just going to be honest with y'all, you know? Like I said, today I felt like I made some logical decisions, but I do feel like I made some irrational decisions today because I could have already had all of this done and over with. And now for the rest of my night, right? I feel like I'm gonna be a little rushed in doing the stuff that I need to do. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. Ain't nothing I can do about that, right? Ain't nothing I can do about that. Only thing I can do about that is make the decision next time to make a lot more logical decision, right? And not do the same thing again tomorrow. That's exactly how I feel. Okay? That's exactly how I feel. But guys, I appreciate everybody going live with me. I appreciate everybody listening. It's Philip Randolph. We just gonna talk about choices. Excuse me. Pepper. Ah. Philip Randolph. We just gonna talk about choices. And like I always say, stay blessed, stay motivated, stay focused. And until the next time, guys, I'm out. Make the right choice.